Hey everyone, this is Trankrave here, and in today's video, we're going to be going through the top 5 people who hacked or scammed people on Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network, and that also includes when the networks get hacked or scammed themselves. I figured I'd do this because you guys really liked my version of this, except with people getting banned, so I'll leave a link to that video down in the description. But before we actually get into this video, I really appreciate if you guys leave a like in the video. If we can break 10,000 likes, that would be insanely awesome. I really appreciate that, you guys. Also, make sure to comment down below and tell me if you've ever gotten scammed or hacked, and tell me your story. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that always really helps out. But let's go ahead and get into this top 5. And in the number 5 spot, this is actually kind of an older story, but if you guys remember a guy named GeoHot, he was actually responsible for jailbreaking the iPhone, and then he went on to jailbreak the PlayStation 3. So he was the first person to do that, and he released how to do it, and obviously he got into a ton of trouble with Sony, and they were really pissed off at him and went at him legally.
We've got an update for you tonight on one guy who took on Sony. George Hotz, an avid gamer and tech whiz, and former guest on The Alona Show, was known for jailbreaking the iPhone. But then he got into deep water when he not only successfully hacked Sony's PlayStation 3, but then went on to release the code needed for the hack online, along with a how-to video guide. Now, this code put Sony in hot water because it created a loophole for anybody who wanted to modify their gaming console, and it even allowed gamers to use pirated games on their system. So as you can imagine, this put Hotz into a lawsuit with the Mega Electronics Corporation. But it looks like Hotz, aka GeoHot, as fellow gamers call him, has reached an agreement. According to Wired.com, Sony has dropped its jailbreaking lawsuit against Hotz in exchange for a promise not to fiddle with the PS3 system anymore. That's right, a promise. Now, breaching the terms of this settlement would result in a $10,000 fine per violation. But it looks like the only way that Hotz could get out of legal trouble is to agree to keep his hacking ways away from Sony products.
Moving on to number 4, we've got Lizard Squad, and I'm sure you guys have heard of them before. They're a super well-known hacking group. They've been in the news a lot, plenty of times, and they're especially well-known for taking down Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network, basically booting those servers completely offline over Christmas, and just continually attacking those servers over a period of time. For a lot of kids, it really did ruin their Christmas and stuff like that, because they get this new present, this new video game, and they want to go try it out real quick and play online, because who plays offline anymore these days? And they obviously weren't able to, but this clip that I have is an interview back in 2014 with a Lizard Squad member, like a real member, and he's talking about why they took down Xbox and PlayStation.
There's the core members, which is about 3 or 4 people who actually perpetrated the attacks, and then there's various other people involved doing various other things. But this attack, it was basically done by 3 people.
Why? Why did you do this? It affected so many people. It ruined Christmas for potentially millions of people.
Why we did it? Mostly to raise awareness, to amuse ourselves. Also, one of the big aspects here was raising awareness regarding the low state of computer security at these companies. Because these companies make tens of millions every month from just their subscriber fees, and that doesn't even include like purchases made by their customers. They should have more than enough funding be able to protect against these attacks.
Do you not feel guilty that you've taken so much enjoyment of gaming away from more than 100 million people over this Christmas period?
I'd be rather worried if those people didn't have anything better to do than play games on their consoles on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I mean, I can't really say I feel bad. I might have forced a couple of kids to spend their time with their families instead of playing games.
Heading over to number 3, this one isn't as much of a scamming or a hacking or something like that. However, the news station, they say it's a hacking. This 5-year-old kid hacked the Xbox One. Really, he just kind of found a glitch. I'm going to play it off as a hacking, though, because I'm not going to post a fucking top 4, and it was hard to find clips for this video somehow, for some reason. I thought it would be really easy. Okay, stop making fun of me already. But this kid, he found a huge glitch with the Xbox One and how to, like, get into people's accounts and stuff like that, and so him and his dad ended up calling up Xbox, and they notified them, and Xbox obviously ended up fixing the whole situation and said thank you.
When Christopher von Hossel is playing his Xbox, his feet don't touch the ground.
PVZ got him with it.
His words are sometimes hard to understand, but something he just did.
I was like, yeah!
Sent a message loud and clear to some of the smartest techies at Microsoft. Just after Christmas, Christopher's parents noticed he was logging onto his father's Xbox Live account and playing games he wasn't supposed to be.
I got nervous. He was gonna find out.
This is video shot soon after Dad asked Christopher how he was doing it. A suddenly excited Christopher showed Dad when he typed in a bad password, it clicked to a password verification screen. And by typing in space keys, then hitting enter, a backdoor in.
The account is now logged in.
Christopher's father, who works in computer security, was one proud papa. Microsoft came up with a fix, even acknowledged Christopher on its website as a security researcher. When Christopher read it, this reaction.
I'm gonna be famous.
Moving on to number 2, this one is a huge one. It's probably the biggest one out of all of them in terms of size and severity of it. But this was the PlayStation hack back in 2011. And basically 77 million PSN users had their personal account details stolen and all that kind of stuff. Some credit card information, shit like that. And on top of that, because this whole situation happened, the PlayStation Network was down for a couple weeks. And I remember people back in like middle school bitching about this whole fucking thing. I'm sure you guys kind of remember shit like that too. I was an Xbox 360 guy myself, so it didn't really bother me, but this clip is from IGN, and it's not like a news network, it's like straight factual information type shit, because all the news networks just talked about opinions, and I don't want to see some, 65-year-old guy's opinion when he has never played PlayStation in his life. So here it is.
April 16th and 17th, 2011. Hackers digitally break into the PlayStation Network and Sony Online Entertainment. They steal personal PSN and Sony Online Entertainment user information, along with European SOE credit card and debit card numbers. April 19th, 2011. Sony detects a PSN breach. An investigation starts, but the public isn't told. April 20th, 2011. Sony shuts down the PSN, citing technical issues. April 22nd, 2011. As public unrest begins to mount about the PSN being down, Anonymous releases a statement denying any responsibility for the PSN outage. April 26th, 2011. Sony admits that the PSN has been hacked and calls for FBI assistance. May 1st, 2011. Sony executives apologize for the PSN data breach and outage. In the meantime, Sony and investigators discover a Sony Online Entertainment data breach and shut down the SOE servers. May 2nd, 2011. Sony reveals the SOE data breach details to the public. May 4th, 2011. Sony chairman Kaz Hirai tells Congress investigators found a file within the PSN that was named Anonymous and had the group's motto, "We Are Legion," attached. Although Sony does not specifically accuse Anonymous of the intrusion, the company claims the PSN was made more vulnerable by the group's earlier attack, possibly keeping Sony IT security busy while other hackers snuck in and stole data. May 5th, 2011. Anonymous denies that it had any part in the credit card theft. The group says that it is only after large and corrupt corporations and governments. May 5th, 2011. Sony releases a statement saying it is in the final stages of testing its new network, and that the PSN will be returning in the coming days. May 6th, 2011. The PlayStation Network and Sony Online Entertainment are still down as of 1:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And finally, the number 1 spot. This one I put in here because it was just fucking funny. Like, this kid, he got scammed out of $500, basically because he just straight up gave this guy his information, his account details and that kind of stuff, login, and I don't know how you can fall for something like this, even at 14. I mean, he's a younger kid, but 14, you still should know better at this point.
He was chatting online through his Xbox Live with someone named Mr. Lamborghini, and he had something to offer Zach that he wanted.
My son has been wanting this for weeks.
Microsoft points, used for Xbox games. That was this hacker's bait in a phishing scheme. He offered Zach the points, and all he needed to do was give an email address and password. He actually was able to record the conversation.
What you have to do is email address and password.
The hacker even gets a little pushy.
You have like 20 minutes in order to just send me an email address and password. And I am not a hacker.
So when Zach gave up the info, his father's credit card information was exposed, and the scammer wasted no time buying movies and video games on the card.
You know, these different things saying Microsoft from his account.
Grant says he's charged around $500 to their card, money they don't know if they'll get back, and Microsoft hasn't presented a solution for them yet.
You can't give people information. You can't just let somebody tell you, I promise to give you something, you just give up information. I told him because it really can hurt your family.
Those are the clips that I have for today's video. Hope that you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to leave a like in the video. If we can break 10,000 likes, that would be insanely awesome. I really appreciate that, you guys. Also, make sure to comment down below and tell me which one of these scams or hacks was the one that affected you the most. Tell me if you've ever gotten scammed or hacked as well. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that always really helps out. And if you want to see another video kind of similar to this one, make sure to go ahead and check out one of my last videos. It was the top 10 hilarious banned from PlayStation and Xbox Live reactions. So